Hello, everybody. City Councilman Frank Morano here from City Hall, where we're getting ready for a busy day of passing legislation and doing some debating of some things that are likely to pass that I may not necessarily agree with, but lo and behold, that's democracy in action. Folks, we have now had our third subway homicide in just 2 weeks, our sixth subway killing of the year. And I think what is especially disturbing about this latest incident is how clearly it shows the way disorder escalates, as Nicole Gelina so eloquently put it on Twitter. According to reports, a man realized he had left his backpack on a number 3 train in Brooklyn. He jumped back on the train, spotted someone allegedly holding his bag, and during a struggle between train cars, he fell to his death onto the tracks. Think about how quickly that escalated. A stolen bag, an argument, a fight, a man dead on the tracks. And before somebody says, well, this wasn't random, let me make something very clear. When people no longer feel secure in public spaces, when theft becomes commonplace, when disorder becomes tolerated, when emotionally unstable, violent, or predatory behavior becomes normalized, you create an atmosphere where ordinary interactions can spiral into deadly violence. This is exactly what New Yorkers are feeling right now. And what frustrates so many people is that we're constantly told not to believe what we're seeing with our own eyes. We're told these incidents are rare. Rare? Before 2020, New York City went nearly a quarter century without regularly seeing numbers like this on the subway system. If we had 6 subway murders in a year back then, it would have been treated as a full-blown citywide crisis. Now, we have 6 before Memorial Day, and somehow we're still expected to pretend this is normal. It's not normal. And I think one of the reasons people are increasingly angry is because they know this didn't happen overnight. This has been in the making for years. For too long, we've tolerated an escalating level of disorder in the transit system. Fare evasion, open drug use, aggressive behavior, mentally disturbed people roaming around unchecked, people sleeping across train cars, petty theft, harassment, assaults. And every time somebody raised concerns, they're often dismissed as exaggerating or fear mongering. But disorder isn't harmless. Disorder creates an environment where people feel vulnerable, where they feel tense, defensive, unsafe. And once that atmosphere takes hold, violence becomes more likely. This has nothing to do with ideology. This is just human nature. Now, look, I still believe in New York City. I still ride the subway myself most days. Millions of New Yorkers rely on it every day. Most rides are totally uneventful. I took my son on the train on Sunday out to City Field. Fine. But leadership has an obligation to acknowledge reality instead of minimizing it, because this amount of transit violence would be considered a massive scandal in almost any other major first world city. Here, too many people have started treating it as background noise, stuff that happens every day. We can't normalize this. And we also can't solve it with slogans. So what should we do? First, we need a far more visible police presence actually riding trains and patrolling platforms, especially overnight, like Teddy Roosevelt used to do when he was police commissioner. Now, just standing near, we don't need cops just standing near station booths. We need active patrols, actual active patrols. Second, we need a serious intervention strategy for repeat violent offenders and severely mentally ill people who repeatedly create dangerous situations in the transit system. Third, we need to restore a basic expectation of order in the subway system. And yes, that includes cracking down on the smaller things before they become bigger things, broken windows or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter to me. Because theft is force and disorder escalates. And when public spaces feel lawless, eventually innocent people get hurt. That's exactly what we're seeing now. And unfortunately, unless leadership is willing to confront this honestly, I'm very afraid these tragedies are only going to continue.